in the name of...
Okay, so my name is RiderLAK. I'm on the fan base on the NHL message boards is the same name, and also on the Let's Go Kings message boards under the same name as well, so you guys can look for me whenever you want to. Now, as a Kings fan, I'm doing this so I can speak my mind and opinion about what Los Angeles have done and whatever else is going on around the league. Nothing too big. I'm just getting my thought and opinion across. Nothing too serious. Alright, well, to start out with, I know we missed the playoffs. I know we came really close to it, but you can't exactly do much about it when, the race in the West was really frigging close, I'll admit that. We managed to do well till, 2 weeks left in the season and then get eliminated. I'm not really complaining. If it's the closest that we've been, then, I'm all for it. If we pull it off this year, brilliant. And also, congratulations to the Pens for taking the cup from Detroit this year. A bit of a karma kick in the mouth for the Red Wings, because the Game 7 win was well and truly deserved. And you guys know how to hold me on the edge of my seat for the last 8 minutes of the game. I'll tell you that much. Anyways, the NHL Players Draft just finished up sometime last week. I saw part of the first round on NHL.com. I saw like a lot of the stuff going on, and I thought I'd see a couple of interviews, see what was going down, take a look at the players that's been drafted, etc. But the only concerns of mine when it comes to the draft are who Los Angeles picked in the first round and who went first overall, in which case it was John Tavares. Now, if you ask me about John Tavares, now, okay, granted, he's had 3 seasons where he's had over 100 points, but I think he's a bit of an arrogant douchebag, in fairness, because, he talks like he's going to be the next big thing in the NHL, but I just want to say that when Tampa Bay picked Steven Stamkos last year, Stamkos flopped. In all honesty, okay, granted, he had a good 40-point plus season as a rookie, I'll give him that much, but, in honesty, the Islanders hit rock bottom, and whether they'll stay rock bottom, for the next season is beyond me. But I think Tavares should take a good note from Stamkos and realise that even the team you're in is going to do well. It's not as if you're going to make the playoffs, given that you've just had the #1 draft pick for the year. Okay, granted, your skills will improve, but don't go thinking that your stuff's made of gold, because it could be years before you even make the playoffs, or you could own another team. I'm giving you a heads up on that one. And now we come to the Los Angeles choice being Shen. I think it was Braden. I can't remember his first name, but either way, Braden Shen, 88 points in the OHL, if I remember right. And he's a good choice for a first round pick. He's going to complement well with Kopitar and Brown. If you ask me, I kind of see Shen as a replacement for O'Sullivan. As much as I'm missing him over in Edmonton, Shen will be a nice replacement for O'Sullivan, as far as I'm concerned, and will be a good choice on the forward lines. I don't know what line he's going to end up on, but we've had good players in the first round. We've had Kopitar, we've had Brown, we've had Doughty. We've got no problems whatsoever. It's just a matter of remaining consistent. Now, with other Kings news, I read up on everything all the time, so I saw that that Rob Scuderi from the Penguins was signed by us for 4 years after taking him from the unrestricted free agency. Now, I saw that and I smiled to myself. In fairness, who wouldn't? You just got a player from free agency. He's just won the... What a morale booster, you know what I mean? Now, with that, we've got a solid defence going on now. The way I see it, Scuderi could perfectly fit either Johnson or Doughty. I don't know. But either way, Scuderi is going to be a first or second liner no matter how you look at it. So it's going to be good in the long run. But by far the biggest surprise that I've had during the off-season so far with Los Angeles is the fact that we got Ryan Smith from the Avalanche. Now, admittedly, Ryan Smith is one of my all-time favourite players in the NHL, and I've been in the NHL since I was I don't know how old I was, but it was 2005, 2006 when the Hurricanes won, and I thought Ryan Smith player. But trading for Pricing and Quincy, and a fifth round draft pick, I'm not exactly complaining. That's a good trade. I mean, a bit of hardened veterans never did anybody any harm in the NHL, especially as when a young team like Los Angeles is concerned. So when you think about it. Smith will be on the top line. He'll be playing with Kopi and Brown. Easy. I mean, okay, granted, there'll be a bit of a struggle, but everyone struggles to get used to new surroundings. I mean, for those that are listening to this and know what I'm talking about, we're talking about what happened when Ryan Smith was suddenly traded from nowhere from Edmonton to the New York Islanders. And if you ask me, dumbest trade this decade, no doubt about it. Alright, and elsewhere in the NHL, I read up on everything again as usual. I'm a hockey nerd from the UK. Yeah, believe it. And the most standout part, in my opinion, is Marian Hossa. I mean, what an idiot. I mean, the Penguins pick him up from the on trade deadline day last season. The Pens push all the way to the end of the finals. They go to 6 games. They lose to the Red Wings on their own home turf. Okay, that is as much of a blow as anything else. But Hossa, he goes to the Red Wings thinking, oh, if I'm not going to win a cup with Pittsburgh, I may as well do it with Detroit. And look what happened. I mean, you join the team that beat you last year, and karma has just kicked you square in the jaw again. And, you lose on your own home turf, just like you did in Pittsburgh the year before. And on a side note, I don't hold any ill feelings toward the Pens. I do like them. But now Hossa has signed with the rival Chicago Blackhawks for 12 years. And I'm like, what? Why? Why do do you like to jump ship because you're a glory seeker? Your statistics may be brilliant, Hossa, but at the end of the road, if you're just going to be looking for a cup before you retire, then you're sorely mistaken. You find a team you can be consistent with. I mean, 12 years contract, I'm saying you traded in 4. If anyone's got a problem with that, bring it on. I will wholeheartedly admit, for a guy who's been to the Senators, Thrashers, Pens and Red Wings, he's lasted longer in the Sens than anything else, but I'm saying he'll be gone out of Chicago in 4 once he realises that he may not have a chance to get a frigging cup. Alright, and also Joe Sakic from the Avs may be retiring tomorrow on Thursday, the 9th of July. And to me, if this is true, if he does retire, then Burnaby Joe, he's a guest. Well and truly, he's another one of my favourite players. I'm going to admit that now. I mean, for a guy who's got over 1,500 career points, over 1,300 games or so, the guy's great. I mean, he's played his entire career with one organisation, being Quebec and Colorado after relocation. But, you can't exactly, you could say it's 2 teams, but at the same time, you can't exactly, say, oh, he's been in 2 teams, but, it's the same team, it's the same organisation, But I know number 19 will be retired in Colorado once it happens. It's just a matter of when. And Nikolai Khabibulin from the Blackhawks also went to the Oilers. I think that's a pretty good booster, actually. I mean, the Bulin will, in a team like Edmonton, who struggled ever since they traded Smith, dumb move. It's been good. It's been good to know that Khabibulin will do well there. And I know he will, given that everyone else doesn't mess up. And Patrick O'Sullivan, just make sure you keep those goals coming in, because I don't want you screwing up in the end of. And the news of Marian Gaborik being signing for the Rangers, that came as a bit of a surprise to me, because, I mean, he comes from one team, there's 29 others out there that want him, and he's entitled to go with the Rangers, but I kind of see that as a bit of a complimentary compensation part on account of that Gomez is now in the Canadiens. So it's a bit of a counterbalance, if you will. And Saku Koivu, a former Canadian, if I remember right, is in Anaheim. I'm not really going to say much about that. I mean, I haven't really seen much of Koivu's stats or his style of play, but either way, you're in Anaheim. I hope you do well for yourself. And Anaheim, I want to ask all of you fans a question. I really hope you are missing Pronger and Boscheman when they're in Philly and Toronto respectively.
Who with it now?